Toyota doesn't race to sell Corollas. They race to see what breaks. The Tacoma, the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the company that figured out how to sell reliability to people who never want to think about their cars. And for most of their motorsport history, they lost repeatedly. Sometimes in the worst way possible, but they kept going. 1957. Most brands were racing for glory or trophy cabinets. Toyota took a crown to the Round Australia trial. 19 days of absolute punishment. They wanted to see where the metal fatigued first. Fast forward to the 1980s Group B era, the last time rally cars had no rulebook. Turbocharged, mid-engine, some of them were making over 500 horsepower on gravel roads. Toyota had the Celica twin-cam turbo in that era. Not the car that dominated. Audi and Peugeot were doing that. But Toyota was there, learning the game. When Group B got banned in 1996 after a series of crashes that took the lives of a lot of spectators, the whole category restarted under a new name called Group A. More restrictions, closer competition, and Toyota started winning. The Celica GT4 in the late 80s, early 90s was genuinely quick. Carlos Sainz won a driver's championship in 1990 in that car. He won again in 1992. And they won again in 1994. 3 world championships in 4 years. 1995, WRC, Toyota finishes 1, 2, and 3 in the manufacturer's standing. Then they were disqualified. Turns out they were running an illegal air restrictor in the turbo. See, because this was Group A, everybody was running the same turbo restrictors. Level playing field. The engineers at TTE, or Toyota Team Europe, built a spring-loaded bypass. Even when the turbo was off the car and inspected by the FIA, nothing seemed wrong. Everything looked appropriate and according to the rule. But under boost, the spring moved the restrictor plate a few millimeters, which was just enough to get more air, which meant more power. There were some rumors that they were making close to 50 more horsepower than the other teams. When they were finally caught, the FIA inspector actually called it the most sophisticated cheating he's ever seen. Because they weren't just cheating, they were out-engineering the rulebook. See, Toyota said it was a rogue employee, the FIA really didn't care, and they got a 1-year ban from WRC, along with losing everything from the 1995 championship. Toyota took the loss, eventually moved on, and they scrapped the WRC program in 1999. At the same time they were wrapping up the WRC chapter, they were trying to win Le Mans. Toyota built the GT1, a prototype that technically had to be road legal. Those were the rules at the time. So Toyota built 2 actual road cars just to qualify, and they took their prototype to Le Mans to race. In 1998, the car was fast, like really fast. But unfortunately, both cars retired from the race due to mechanical problems. They came back in 1999 with a better understanding of the car and a better understanding of the team and what did they need to actually take the win. With about 7 hours left in the race, both Toyotas are running, both in contention for the podium, and then disaster. Punctures, some had mechanical failures, Toyota didn't finish, BMW takes the win that year. They left Le Mans after that. The wins never came, but they moved on to Formula 1. Between 2002 and 2009, Toyota spent an estimated $2 billion in their Formula 1 program. They never won a race. Not one. They came close, truly qualified on pole in Monaco in 2004. The problem was always consistency, reliability, and a team structure that never really translated budget into results. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't a small operation. They had a brand new factory in Cologne, hundreds of engineers, and one of the biggest budgets on the grid at the time. But then 2008 hits, the financial crisis gets really bad, and with no results so far, they dropped out of the Formula 1 program. The whole thing ended quietly. The factory closed, the cars were parked, no final race win, no championship push, just done. But if you grew around European car culture, Toyota Motorsport never really quite disappeared. Gazoo Racing started as an internal project. The name actually comes from an online car listing platform that Toyota owned. And the first thing they did was enter a modified Altezza in the 24 hours of the Nürburgring. This wasn't a PR move, it was more like an engineering exercise. And the LMP1 program that followed really took that seriously. The TS30 and the TS40 were hybrid LMP1 cars built with the genuine intent to win Le Mans. They came close in 2013, 2014, and again in 2016. 2016 was devastating. Overall lead, 1 lap away from the finish, it just quits. Drivetrain failure. They go back in 2018, now with Formula One driver in their roster, Fernando Alonso, a two-time world champion in Formula One, but he never won Le Mans. And this was their year. The race goes clean, there's no failures, there's no disaster. Toyota finally gets their win. The same driver that had a failure 1 lap away from winning the race in 2016 comes back and wins Le Mans 2 years later. And when Toyota started winning Le Mans, they really went on a streak. They won in 18, 19, 20, and 21. The program that started with an endurance car in the Nürburgring became the dominant force in endurance racing. Today, the GR Yaris, meaning the Gazoo Racing Yaris, that car exists because Toyota needed a homologation car for the WRC. They had to build 25,000 cars to go racing in WRC. So they engineered what I believe to be one of the best hot hatches we've seen. It's a 1.6 liter 3-cylinder turbo all-wheel drive making around 260 horsepower straight from the dealership. And here in Canada, we're finally getting some of that homologation energy, not with the Yaris, but with the GR Corolla and with the GR 86. Although a different formula, lightweight, rear-wheel drive, no turbos, but it exists again because the engineers running the motorsport program believed that it would sell, and they were right. And it's because of Gazoo Racing that today we have what feels like 90s Toyota back with the Supra, the Yaris, the Corolla, and the 86. The brand that makes dull, reliable cars also has one of the coolest motorsports resumes to ever exist. And since we're on the subject, for those of you like me who grew up with Castrol Supras and the GT4 in rally, does this new GR era feel like the same DNA to you? For me, it really does.